How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the number one independently run podcast of Millwall. Hope you're doing well. My name's Omer. Joining me as always, I have my regular co-host, Mr. Micky Simpson. Hello, pal.
Hello, fella. How you doing? You all right? Fucking
Good,
nice and
mate.
early this morning, isn't it, eh?
I know, nice and chirpy. I think,
That's it. Loads of
early
cold
work
sweats
catches the
off.
worm. That's it,
That's it.
mate.
Well, it works for me, mate, because I've got another day in the garden and I need to crack on there, mate, because I've got a family party next weekend and I've got it in the air to get the garden cleared. So it's good. Hopefully another day of frog rescuing.
We look forward to an update on Thursday if you make it onto the show, mate, because you missed the last two Thursday shows in a row.
I'll be here Thursday.
Yeah?
Don't start giving it, you fucking Larry cunt. I'll be here on Thursday. Do you know
what was it? Week 1 was your anniversary. Week 2, what was it? I think you was just communicado.
And week 3, I'll be there, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because my name's on the title, so I've got to be there. Otherwise, I look like a fraggle, don't I?
That's it. And you're our ex-fan on the board, so you need to rep us somehow. You know what I mean? You still got a kind of affiliation. You need to sort us out, mate. All right. So you need to be on our side, especially if things go off on Tuesday night against the naughty Fulham firm that we've got coming to town. So
I wonder if they'll be coming by boat.
Yeah. And also joining us is Mr. Kai Bennett. Hello, pal. You all right?
Yeah, I'm very good, thank you. Decent. Well, not so much decent, but another point, I guess, and look forward to talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you told me you was hungover this morning, mate. So I'm gonna grill you about that later on. But it's all good.
Underage drinking at Millwall. That's shocking.
That's it.
Actually, it wasn't that Millwall.
Yeah, he was at a party yesterday. So to be fair, I'm normally the one that's hungover, but it's
cut that bit out where it says it wasn't at Millwall. Just cut that bit out. Okay, just leave it as it.
Anyway, chaps, obviously today we're going to be talking about yesterday's draw, a 1-1 draw at home against Blackburn Rovers. And obviously in the second part, we'll be talking about another game we've got coming up. They're thick and fast. They're coming as quicker than ever. Tuesday night, we welcome Fulham to town. But we'll go into part 1 now and we're back shortly. And welcome to the first part of the show. Chaps, Millwall drew 1-1 yesterday. At home to Blackburn, our first league home game of the season. Obviously, not getting off to the winning start I think we all hoped for. I mean, even myself, Kai, I went for 3-0 on Thursday, didn't I? So I was quite confident going into the game. And I'll tell you what, the start of it, I was happy as well. And I thought this could be our day. I think ultimately we just came a little bit short, didn't we, on yesterday? And I mean, a 1-1 draw, goal from Jed Wallace. Jed Wallace 2-2 now. And obviously Ben Burrows and Diaz. We talked about him the other day, didn't we, Kai? But he came back to bite us a little bit in the second half there.
Yeah, I think first half we sort of just, we kept. If you look at the possession, we were at 65%, didn't we, in the first half, which is, we don't really see very often. So it just shows you the way Raul is trying to play. I'd like to see us, use the ball maybe a little bit better than we did. I thought we, maybe, put one too many passes to the side and backwards. Would have been nice to see us, drive with the ball and try and, break lines with, Keith and Bell and Saville, because we didn't really ultimately have too many chances in the first half. I think they had with Cooper, Cooper hit. I think Cooper missed by wasn't far away. His header was he from a corner. But other than that, it wasn't too many chances. Obviously, second half was a little bit more lively. Really fantastic goal from us. Ballard, brilliant switch of play. Malone first time, and Jed finished it. And then obviously they score. Was it a free kick? Well, we can't do anything about it now, can we? So, but yeah, it's a bit. It was not the 3 points that we wanted, but it's another point, I guess.
It's a sore one to take from me. I mean, obviously, going to the game, obviously Blackburn won last week, obviously against Swansea. They've done quite well in that game, but I think, they caught Swansea on a good day with their new manager in charge over there. But I thought going into the game, I was quite excited to see what we could do. I guess, Micky, this is like maybe I'm still glass half full about this. And you know what? I look at the game, a lot of people, it's mixed reviews online from a lot of people, and we'll get onto that in a bit. But I still think that the game was there to be taken and won. I guess our problem is, mate, and this is going to be a case for a lot of the season now, we scored the 1. Can we go and score the 2nd and 3rd? And this is exactly something that I flagged up to you before we played Ipswich. And yeah, we made you look silly when we scored 3 past Ipswich in a League One side, but there you go, it's pre-season. But this is exactly what my fears were going into the season with this formation in particular as well. We scored that 1, and it's not even sitting back. It's just we don't have the ability to then replicate and break teams down. There's obviously the goal yesterday was superb from us, and we can't mention it then. We'll get onto that in a bit as well. But QPR, we let the defender run forward and he scores a long-range effort. We could see the set piece against Blackburn yesterday. Aside from that, we'd have 2 1-0 wins. And, I'm still really happy and positive about that. But it's just we need to have the ability to kick on and do a bit more, I think.
Absolutely. I mean, Gary's post-match comments were quite revealing to a degree. You know, he was saying, you know, we're all over him. We should have been able to win that 1-0, when that's not really the mentality what you should be going into a game with. It should be, we're going to win this and we're going to score as many goals as we can. I think we were caught out a bit in the middle. We weren't as attacking what we probably need to be. You know, Afobe could be the best player in the world, but if people aren't putting things to him, he ain't got nothing to go with. But you can see why he's worth the money, because, you know, when he holds the ball up and he can run a bit with the ball and that, but he just needs other people around him. And he just didn't have that yesterday. You know, yes, Jed was everywhere as always, but Jed can't be the sole person of, you know, the linchpin of that team. We need a couple of others who can service, probably some creative midfielder, and maybe an attacking option. But yeah, I just think that once we scored, we seemed to just, like we did the other day, we just seemed to sit back a bit and think we're just defend well and we're try and keep it. Look, Keith is a great player. Keith will go through players like they're nothing. Do you know what I mean? And he do that all day long. But is he has he got the creative side of it, or is he just a heavily defensive player? You know, would you have Keith in there, or would you have Leonard from start? To me, I'd probably go Leonard, because Leonard can give you some creative options. He can run at players. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I think we just sat back.
Okay. Nice answer, mate. What I was going to say was, with that, Keith, for me, he's not that creative player, but that's not his job to create the ball either. I think for me, I mean, we'll talk about the team, obviously, that lined up yesterday. We had Bart Wilkowski in goal, 5 at the back, returned for a home game. Ballard, Murray Wallace, that is, and Cooper at the back, with Hutchinson picking up a thigh injury, supposedly. Right wing back was McNamara, left wing back was Malone. Midfield 3 of Keithton Bell sitting, Evans on the right and Saville on the left, with Afobe and Wallace up front. Micky's obviously mentioned the lack of creativity there, and I think that was one thing, Kai, I said walking out of the game yesterday, and I tweeted, it was a sucker punch, because we dominated the game. We should have won it. We didn't really create too many clear-cut opportunities, but I like I said in my tweet yesterday, we just need players to be able to pick up the ball, turn and run at players. And Mahoney, this is the thing, like, that infuriates me, because I would say Mahoney, but I don't rate Mahoney enough for him to play personally, and I think Rout is exactly the same, which is why he's not playing. But we need a type 2 Mahoney, where picks the ball up, runs opposition defences and causes havoc. You know, like, shit example, but if anyone watched the game on Friday, Arsenal against Brentford, right? I'm not for 1 second comparing any of our players to Emile Smith-Rowe, but if you look at Smith-Rowe, every time he got the ball, he ran at players with intent, caused absolute havoc, quick 1-2 passes, and like, we were missing that kind of ilk player there that can get on the ball and just run at defences, and the defence are like, shit, what do we do here? And then afterwards, you've got Afobe pulling off. There's going to be a little dimension there that we can add if we just have that one more player, I think, Kai.
Yeah, I think so, and I think that Blackburn obviously are missing Bradley Dack, and that's the sort of player that I think that would go with, be fantastic for us personally, because I think, yeah, really, really good player, so creative, scores goals. He's a bit, he's a bit of one of them luxury players, but I think Bradley Dack's a bit, different in that way that he does work really hard as well. It's just a shame Mahoney can't do something similar. I said to my uncle yesterday at half time about Mahoney coming on, and he gave me a deathly stare. He was like, "No, thanks." But that's what you get with Mahoney, don't you? Some people, he completely splits the fan base. I just wonder whether bringing him on, all we need is maybe a good moment of his, and we can be, like he did against Luton a couple of years ago, or 2 years ago, when we, won 3-1, he scored and assisted. If he can do something like that, then, maybe worth bringing on every so often.
If Bennett was fit, I think he would be a useful add to that side as well. But I do think we just need one more up there. I mean, obviously, the game, we'll talk about, obviously, no Hutchinson, but I want to name drop Murray Wallace, because I love Murray Wallace. I think we said it last week as well. I'll be on a positive side here, lads, because, he came in last Saturday for Cooper, played left side centre-half, came in yesterday for Hutchinson, kept his place, I suppose, but played centre-half in the middle this time. And he was just, I think, a reliant head there. And I think, when if any of our 3 defenders have got a niggle or knock, I have full confidence that Murray Wallace will come in and do a job. Even if you put him up front, I'm pretty sure Murray Wallace will do a job, Micky, because, he was honestly just like dependable as ever. And I think it's just obviously reassuring to have that sort of player in the squad that keeps Alex Pearce out the side as well.
Absolutely. I mean, he is Mr. Dependable. You could just put Murray Wallace in and just say, right, I want you to do this, and he'll do it. I reckon if you put him in goal, mate, give him a set of gloves and put him in goal, he'll have a blinding goal going there, mate. He is Mr. Dependable. You know, and he's good. But I agree with you. I think we're missing people who want to run at the ball, who can just get that ball and run and just get us over that centre part, so that then we can do 1-2s and flick-ons and all that. Because yesterday they kept trying to lob it up to Afobe, and that's not the sort of player he is. You know.
Fair play to him. Sorry to jump in there, but I agree with you. Fair play to him, because I agree with you. He's not that type of player, Mickey. But fuck me, like, he does it, and I thought, to be fair to him, he wasn't my man of the match yesterday, but he grafted, and that's one thing I got to say. Like, he's almost like been told what he's expected of a Mill striker in my eyes. You know, I'm thinking of Gregory. I'm thinking of that kind of Neil Harris in his pomp as well. I think it's going to fall for him. I think it will come for him. But like, yeah, I thought Afobe was top draw yesterday. Like, and I think hopefully he gets some chances where he can slip away a few chances, Mickey.
It did surprise me that he got taken off, though, unless he's just still getting the match fit. I thought it was crazy to take him off and put Smith. Just thought that he was going to bank on, set pieces or continue the lob over game. You know, when that's not. I mean, you know what? He can get away with it for a couple of games so far at the Den where he's played like this, but. You know, okay, we got a result against Portsmouth by the skin of our teeth to a degree, but 5-6 games in playing like we did yesterday, Rowett is going to get it, mate. The fans will get on his back big time. They're not going to put up with that. You know, we're not going to put up with a draw. What are we going for? The new world record this season of the most draws we can get in a league. I think
breaking our own record from last season, mate.
Yeah,
definitely. Special last year as well.
I really don't think the fans will go and play. And you know, look, I know. You said last night with Evans and all that, but Evans was just I don't know. He just wasn't on foot. I just don't think he was what we needed out of a player in that position yesterday. He was He's
my next talking point. Yeah, he's my next talking point, because that is a lot of the mixed reviews online. A lot of people are saying I don't really get what Evans offers to the team in the midfield. Kai, I don't know what your take is on that. Like, obviously, I've said it a couple of times. I feel he's a little bit off the pace to play midfield. I think he's done a good job. Like, I think he's still quite, he's a physical presence in there. I think, for set pieces as well, he's useful to have in there. He obviously reads the game really well, but I think he's just a little bit off the pace. But also, he's like playing the midfield role. I think he's personally better playing in the defence, where he had more time on the ball. But I don't know what you made of Evans yesterday.
No, as you said, I think he does offer us a little bit in terms of physical. I like the tackle he put in the Docker stand yesterday. That was good. He's really physical, isn't he? He'll put a challenge in, works hard, and he gives his all. In fairness to him, I just wonder whether maybe someone like Leonard might be better suited in that position. I just feel like he has a little bit more technical ability on the ball. He's a bit better with the ball as well. And I think I don't know. It's hard because, as you say, Evans does read the game well, because he seems to be everywhere. But I just don't know, when he gets the ball, because there's a lot of yesterday they picked the ball up, and there's a lot of get the ball and pass it straight back to Cooper or Murray Wallace. Like, it doesn't seem like he has the confidence to pick the ball up and drive with it.
So that's another thing that I thought about as well. That I thought we don't play through the lines enough either. Like, we don't play forward with it, and when we do, it's normally a diagonal across the pitch or over the top, kind of for Phobia or Jedway to run onto. And like, that's obviously, I agree with you there. Like, that's also why I think we need that creative player in the middle, like just someone else to mix it up a little bit and have the ability to run with the ball, cause havoc, make passes. I think we're just about one player short of being a really good side.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and going back to your point about Smith, Mickey, I think both of you might have mentioned it. I just think when Afobe gets taken off, though, because he obviously doesn't have any confidence in Bradshaw, because otherwise he'd play him, wouldn't he? But Bob Varson, obviously, we know Bob Varson. But problem is, I think right now, is that with Afobe and Smith are two strikers that he's been using. When Afobe comes off, he brings Smith on, and that completely changes our dimension of play, because yesterday we're playing into feet on the ground to Afobe. Then Smith comes on, and all of a sudden we're lobbing it up to him, So it completely changes our style of play. So I do think we need maybe one more striker like Afobe, so that we have a bit more, flexibility, so we can take Afobe off and bring, another striker on like him, and we can still play the same way, if that makes sense.
I think he wanted to mix it up a little bit, and I think I agree with you. I think also like that Linehan and Ayala dealt with Smith a bit yesterday as well, and I think he had a good effect obviously on Tuesday night when he came against Portsmouth. But a week before, Dickey had him in his pocket a little bit as well, I felt like, with Smith. And obviously Smith is a threat constantly, and you got to get the balls into the box, and we did mix it up when he came on. I just wondered whether or not we could have kept them both on together, like, and had Smith flicking on balls with Afobe being there, because Wallace is obviously naturally good to be in them positions as well. But I think Afobe just reads it a bit better, have that poacher instinct. Like if he saw Smith flicking it on, I think maybe he might have seen the opportunity to get on the end of something, Kai, and maybe kind of obviously that could lead to a goal. Do you know what I mean? A different kind of opportunity there.
Yeah, definitely. And I would have actually kept. I absolutely agree. If you're going to go like that, we should have taken Evans off. I think dropped Saville back into the mid, back in with Keith, and then put Jed in behind Smith and Afobe. That's what we could have done. I didn't make any sense taking Saville off yesterday. I thought Saville was he looked a constant threat. And yeah, going back to the two up top, I think that Afobe would read the ball, read the game really well. If Smith was to flick it on, there's just no one. When you've got Smith up there, you need to get people around him. He suits a two up top much better, doesn't he? But when we didn't do that, we started to struggle, to retain the ball as well.
You saw Smith yesterday where it changed when Afobe come off, where balls were coming in, and Afobe's got the pace to be able to run onto the ball and have a go at trying to get the ball. And then Smith, you just saw Smith looking at it going like, why are you putting it there for? I can't run there, mate. Do you know what I mean?
There's one time in the second half where it went to the corner flag and on the Colwell Lane end. He's trying to get there, you're thinking he's never going to get there, and he knew it himself, but he still gave it a go.
But Saville just looked, I mean, he was good yesterday, don't get me wrong, but he just looked, he was blowing a bit and looking, and I mean, there was speculation that he's just come back from COVID or whatnot, so maybe he isn't necessarily fully back fit yet, I don't know, but he was good while he was playing and everything else, but he just didn't look the normal in his face, he looked blowing a bit. So whether or not it was that, but I mean, I don't know. But Rout's definitely got to look at changing how he plays stuff and make us a lot more attacking. Playing like that away from home all day long, 5 at the back, etc., all day long. But at home, we've got to be set up a lot more attacking and just go out and win games, because losing 1-0 leads and ending up with 1-1 draws is not going to sit well with the Millwall faithful this year at all.
Agreed. I think I wanted to talk a bit more about that goal though yesterday from us. I think I know Kai, you dropped it in earlier, mate. Goal. What a goal! I mean, to give it a description, Ballard picks the ball up on the right hand side centre half, who I thought was actually really good yesterday. Ballard, he didn't shirk away from a header, won his tackles, and he obviously offered a quality going forward, which we'll speak about now with that goal. Obviously, he picks the ball up, I reckon, about the halfway line, Kai. He plays a crossfield diag to Malone, who is a left wing back, but let's be honest, he's a left winger in this side pretty much. Has no intentions of defending. Gets on the end of it, on the edge of on their side of the box. First time crossed into the box, on the floor, driven, and Jed Wallace is there for a 3-second goal in 2 games in the league. What a goal! I mean, I couldn't believe it when it went in. I thought I was almost salivating in the mouth at the thought of it. I was thinking, "Fuck me, what a goal!" Like we just scored an absolute belter there, almost Route 1-esque, but with a bit more kind of class to it. You know what I mean? It's something different.
Oh, it's incredible. And there's so many aspects to that goal that are just ridiculous. Ballard's ball is fantastic in the first place. I mean, what a ball! It's pinpoint, isn't it? It's able to Malone just to run straight onto it. And then as soon as the ball gets to Malone, that's not an easy cross. That 9 times out of 10, that goes, 9 times out of 10 normally, probably maybe any other player, Millwall player, that goes into the stands, doesn't it? It skews off and goes into the stand. But it's that absolutely picked Jed out in the middle, which is fantastic. That technique there was fantastic. And then obviously Jed's got a simple finish, but yeah, fantastic all round, ridiculous from us. I thought we couldn't believe it when it went in, same as you.
Yeah, it was top draw. What did Micky? It was top.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was a great goal. I mean, I agree with you. It was a touch fluke-esque about it. As in, his foot was in the right place.
Nah, it was meant. He aimed it that way to Malone.
Oh, mate, no, look, Ballard to ping out, Malone straight across, bang, and then him to just bang it straight in. He knew where Jed was going to be, and it was literally, look, if I put that ball there, realistically, no one's going to be able to fuck it up, and he just buries it. It was good, but do you know what? That's the capabilities we've got on split second changes in the game like that. Then we should have got another, because then we could have finished that game. We could have finished that game off really 3-0. The amount of possession we had, we should have finished that off. We shouldn't have let them get back into the game. But for some unknown reason, our confidence just drops, and we just seem to sit back and go. And I mean, when Blackburn scored, their confidence levels just suddenly went from fucking 0 to 1,000%, and they were just on it, mate. They thought they were in the world. Do you know what I mean? They thought, that's it. This is ours now. We're coming for it. And they just completely changed. That little bit of confidence just changed them, and they were just, more intent, more interested to try and win stuff and everything else. But yeah, they were quite dirty players. But then again, a couple of ours has suddenly got a master's degree in the dark arts as well. So yeah, there was a few of them. I think Jed at one point decided that you're close enough for me to be able to go down and make it look like you've attacked me when he didn't.
That's what they do, though. Come on, it's football. You got to play the game. You got to be in it to win it, in a sense, with that sort of stuff. As much as some people might hate on it or think it's not, you've got to do it to work for your favour.
I think the dark arts are good, mate.
I mean, I think of Dennis Wise when I think of dark arts. That's the first time I was introduced to it, because Wisey was just quality of that, getting players sent off or buying free kicks or penalties and stuff like that. That's for me, being little, that's one thing I remember most. We'll talk about the goal. We can see the Kai, obviously, like we said there. You don't think it was a free kick, do you? I think it was a phobia, wasn't it, that put the challenge in, and the player just hit the ground, didn't he? And I mean, I guess it's a good little segue point afterwards to talk about that official in the middle as well. I thought he was a bit of a wrong one yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think there's a free kick in all honesty. I mean, I don't think anyone really did. Even Micky. Micky, you watched it on the stream, didn't you? And what did it like on the stream?
You're on mute.
Just a quick one there. It weren't a free kick, but we can't put that in because I watched it on a legal screen.
Yeah.
I'll cut that bit out if you want. It doesn't matter.
No, it don't matter, but I don't really want to publicise that I watched it on an illegal
screen.
So
what did you just say there, Kai? So we'll go again from what you said, and then we'll go again.
I
asked you what you thought about it, and then you kind of spoke about it. So then
even Micky agrees with it, but just don't put in you watched it on the live stream. Just say even Micky thinks about it. I mean, looking at the replay, say it looks.
Yeah, go Micky. Go Micky. Micky, what do you think about it? And I'll edit it in. Go on, you say it.
Micky, what did you think about it?
I think it definitely weren't a foul. I mean, you look at the replays and everything else of it. It weren't a foul. I mean, the geezer just went down like he'd been shot. And I think that, if a phobia got hold of you, you'd fucking know about it. It's a big lump, and it weren't. But the ref was awful. But I'm not going to blame. I'm not going to sit there and say because of the ref we played shit. We were playing shit anyway. The ref just added to that.
You see, you are the reason why I was aggy last night when I was seeing the tweets come through when I put out the tweet about the officials. Everyone's turning around going, it's not an excuse for us drawing. Of course it's not. But we weren't shit yesterday either. I thought we were decent yesterday.
Listen,
we were good, mate. We had 6% of the ball.
Exactly. So why didn't we win?
Of the ball?
So why didn't we
wid looked after the ball well. I like the vision.
Why didn't we win?
Bart Bilkowski doesn't kick out long anymore because we didn't score enough. Simple.
Exactly.
And also we can see the set piece.
So,
no.
We didn't score.
Let me speak. Let me speak. Okay. Sorry, Neil. Cut in on me there. Jeez. What I was saying was is we was playing decent football. We was class. Like I thought, even the goal yesterday, aside from a long shot from Rob Dickie last week, and aside from conceding a set piece, we're sitting 6 points out of 6. If we win that game 1-0 yesterday, there's no way you're saying we played shit yesterday. Yes or no?
Oh, for fuck's sake! Listen.
Yes or no?
Listen, if my nan's got wheels, she'd be a fucking bike. We didn't get 6 points, did we? We got fucking 2 points out of 6 because we made simple mistakes and we let the opposition back in. We should have scored another goal and finished that game off and then sat back rather than what we were doing. I'm not saying we were shit as in like, we're fucking really, really terrible. What I'm saying is that we didn't have the ability and the skill, whether that's from the manager or what it is, to go on and finish it. And I don't think because of the ref that we played like that. I don't think it was anything. Yeah, the ref didn't help. The ref kept stopping game and not letting the flow play and everything.
I agree with that. On multiple occasions.
Yeah, he should have put. Cooper should have had a penalty all day long, but he didn't. And then you'll see that some days he'll play the advantage when there was no real advantage, and also he'd give a free kick to them, and then literally 2 minutes later there'd be another town and they'd give a free kick to them. And it was like, he was trying to play back and forth, when he should have just let the game flow, let it play. We would have probably then been able to get some rhythm and score. But I'm not just going to put it on the ref. The ref is shit and we can't change that. But
I'm not letting Micky,
Kai,
I'm not letting Micky get out of this cop out of saying when they have wheels, whatever, right?
But it's true though, isn't it? If my nan had wheels, she'd be a bike.
Yeah, but my point is, if we didn't concede a set-piece goal yesterday, we went at 1-0. Everyone goes home happy. We're seeing rock all over the world. We're all buzzing. I'm sitting there telling you we're going to make playoffs because of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, Kai. Be on my side here, right? I thought it was a positive performance yesterday, and it's more than glass half full for me today, where I'm sitting here thinking there's a lot more to come from this side. Rowett said he wants one more player in. I think it's going to become more of a necessity than a want. I think it's going to come good for us if he gets that right personnel in. I feel like.
Yeah, I feel the same as you. I was really disappointed yesterday. But that's the thing. I do think that the team that there is positive to take from two matches we played in. We've kept the ball really well, I think, in both. 64% possession was it yesterday? When do you ever see that from a Millwall side? Like normally we're the opposite. But that shows that the way we're trying to play. Okay, we're not using possession as well as we probably could do, but that will come because they're not used to having that much of the ball. But as they start to get used to it, I mean, Tuesday night will be a completely different game. We'll probably be the 34%. But that's you play different teams in the Championship. When you play these teams like Blackburn and you dominate the ball, that's really positive. It's just what can we do with it, and that's where you need your creative players to step up and try and find create a spark.
I just think, Micky, before you go in, I just think on another day, right, when Millwall side has 64% possession, has 7 corners to their 3, has 15 shots, okay, 2 on target, and this is the obvious problem we've said here. We're not creating real quality chances. I just think on any other day, we win that game 3-0. We score a corner. Cooper scores a header at the back post. Smith comes on, scores a header as well. It's a bit more one-dimensional, I agree. And it's very simplistic of me to say if we could stop a long shot from a centre-half last week, or if we was to, basically try a different way. I think it's simple, but I think it's fair to say, like, we could have won both games and be sitting on 6 points. I think Micky's busy, Kai, but it's true to say, right? Aside from 2 sloppy mistakes, you could say, not pressing the centre half, we could have potentially had 6 points here and be talking in a positive way.
Yeah, I think it was just 2 really simple, mistakes. I mean, yesterday, even though I don't think it wasn't a foul on a Phobie. When that ball comes in the box anyway, we have to really deal with it. Should have been dealt with. I could be wrong here, but on first thoughts, I think it was Keith, wasn't it, marking
Danny Mack? I think it was
Danny Mack. See, I just think I don't know how tall that Ben Brereton is, but I just feel like we needed someone a bit taller on him. Maybe like a I don't know, maybe an Evans or someone like that. I know obviously the centre backs are marking their centre backs, and I know Smith wasn't on yet, but just someone maybe a bit taller marking Ben Brereton, and maybe if it's if someone like Evans or Wallace are there, then maybe Murray Wallace, maybe he doesn't get the header off. But that's hard to blame Danny because you can't it's not your fault because he's not as tall as Ben Brereton. It's just maybe the marking people marking different players was maybe a bit off yesterday. But yeah, I think you're 100% right. I think we've made two mistakes and we've it's cost us, but there's positives to take from both games, definitely.
Absolutely, I do agree with you there.
Absolutely, there's positives.
We were shit yesterday. We were shit yesterday, though.
No,
we were shit.
We
were shit.
Shut up, you jumped up. Fucking hell, mate.
We were shit.
Fucking hell, so I change your name tag.
We were shit.
Right, listen to me.
My words, your words. We were shit yesterday.
No, we were. I think we were. I think.
I disagree.
Listen, right. I think that if we had just not sat back and played on, and the setup was slightly different, I think we could have dominated that game a lot more. Yes, if we'd have fucking kept the 1-0 and we hadn't had a mistake, yeah, but it's those mistakes what are going to cost us throughout the season. 2-2, 2 mistakes, 2 goals, right? And that's the problem. Are we going to get 3-3 and have 3 mistakes and their cost? And I agree with what Gary said yesterday. It only takes 1 mistake to suddenly bring another team in. And that confidence, Blackburn had so much confidence, they could have scored another possibly with another jammy shot, you know what I mean? But we need to be able to just score, lock it down, or score another one and then just lock it down. No more mistakes. We can't afford to let people get in. And that's the problem. That middle part or the defence, they just suddenly look at each other and go, oh, bang, it's gone. And
I think in my eyes, lightning struck twice.
We shit in like we're fucking like Charlton shit. I just think that we weren't full scored. Do you know what I mean? We should have been a lot better yesterday.
There's definitely room for improvement, but we weren't shit. That's what I want to say.
Definitely. I think weren't shit. Well.
Like,
I think there's sure class coming forward. I think we're looking really good. If we can just tweak those little bits, we are a good team. But it's like I said before, can we score 3-4 goals? I don't know if we can. At the moment, it's looking as if we can't even fucking score 2.
That's the problem. I agree. And this is it, though. Why imagine we would be about Jed Wallace as well. And yes, I'm saying we were better than what people were saying yesterday. But It's the truth. Like, we don't create enough, and that is ultimately the problem there, where we don't really get enough going forward. I'll read some reactions online from some people. I put a tweet out yesterday on our handle saying, how bad was the ref today, by the way? Seems lockdown hasn't changed anything for the officials. Just to kind of get some fishes out there as well, see what people reply to. Mark Wardell, absolutely awful. Gary Rowett very rarely comes on the field and complains after, but it was fully justified today.
Mark Wardell was a ref as well, by the way.
I think he is, yeah.
Referee as well, yeah.
Dolby this morning, he said he was a poor ref, but Gary Wright's tactics, team selection and piss poor use of his bench deserves more criticism than the officials. A poor Blackburn side at home has to be put away, and playing one up top, we were so negative. And how George Evans played 88 minutes is beyond us all. Ricky Millwall agrees with him there. Neil here says, not Neil Fizzler, at Orange Pill Neil, his name is. Ref and assistants were crap, but overall play, tactics and substitutions were poor. One up top at home is a no-no. Tony Evans says the referee was fucking shocking. I don't think we've done anything wrong, just not that much thing right. It's from Sunny CM. And do you know what? I think that's a fair reflection there. What I'm trying to say is we didn't do much wrong, but we didn't do a lot right either. I think that's probably quite a little way to say that. Johnny P says the referee looked like Ian Holloway. And then I think this was the one player that got me yesterday, and obviously I think Mickey is probably agreeing with this as well. Maybe focus on how bad we were instead of blaming the ref, who seems to be easy targets when things don't go right. We got a draw. We deserve fuck all else. Negative football from Gary Rowett once again, so nothing changes from last season. 1-1 at home. I think that's the general consensus there, is it, boys? And this is also something we kind of previewed in pre-season and our close season shows, Mickey, where 5-3-2 is great away from home. If we keep drawing games at home and, not getting over the line at home, this is where he's going to come a bit unstuck.
Absolutely. He won't get away with it. He'd be able to do, 2, maybe now 3, maybe 4, but I don't think the fan base will start turning. They give him so much, and then they start turning, and he needs to play at home with with a big crowd behind you. Play attacking football. Just take it to them, because the crowd's going to back you up, and have the players what will go in on the hard tackles to win balls back and scare the life out of the opposition. But all day long, we need to be full on attack at home, and just that way we probably will be able to score more. That's the option, I think.
I still think if we win that 1-0 and we don't see that set piece, there's no way we'd be talking about it in a negative way at all. I think we'd be full of all sorts of energy and be buzzing about it. But I'll move on from that now. Before we end up part 1 here, chaps, I thought it would be a nice little mention to our chairman, John Berylson, who came onto the pitch yesterday to give us a little rallying cry. At the time of recording, I've got a recording which I'm going to put up of the speech. It'll be out probably at midday on the Sunday, but obviously before this podcast. If you've not seen it yet, be sure to check out on our YouTube channel. Mickey, he obviously took to the pitch, wanted to kind of give his say on, obviously try and rally the troops. Said he mentioned the 12th man and what effect we are at the Den. Unfortunately, we didn't get over the line yesterday with the 12th man, Mickey, but it was nice to see him on the pitch, and obviously a nice little commendable thing for him to do. And obviously, we reciprocated with our thanks to him for sticking by us during COVID.
Yeah, no, look, John's a top manager, top chairman. You can't fault John. And he loves our fans. He loves the fan base and all that. And he's the first to admit, when he came into football, he knew nothing about football. And he's learned, and he's taken everything on board, and he seriously does love the club, and he can't do enough for him. So yeah, he's bankrolled it through COVID, and yeah, you see, in my years when I was there, that it was normally a good idea that you never really gave John a microphone. It's not normally good to just go, yeah, there you go, and off. But no, look, he's passionate about the club. You can see that he loves us. And when you look at the way current football is, we are knackered. Current football is knackered with dodgy chairman and everything else. And I'm just glad that actually we've got a good chairman who trusts in the setup and trusts in managers, and he's not afraid to make investment if the benefits are there to be proven. So I've got no qualms. I think if we were on for Premiership challenge, he would make the necessary investment to make sure that we hit that.
Definitely. And also I think in a time where you've got Charlton's chairman, Thomas Sangard, who does music, and he's not really, there's ulterior motives around Kai sometimes from these chairmen, and also no stability from a lot of these people either. But, the stability that we've been offered from the last 15 years from John Berylson is, second to none really, isn't it? And it's been worthwhile. Yeah,
and he's just such a class act. The way he handles himself, on and off the pitch, he's his speech yesterday was brilliant. I think it really got everyone going. It really got everyone hyped for the match, and I just think what he said as well is just, as Micky said, I think he just loves the fans. I don't think he knew much about football when he first came into it, but he's learned, and I really like him. I think he's been brilliant for us, and I agree with you. I mean, some chairmen don't offer you stability, but Berylson does, and we're so lucky to have him.
Absolutely. So that's the end of part 1 here anyway. We'll be back in a second with our preview of the Fulham game. Be right back. And welcome back to the second part of the show. So, chaps, like I said, football's coming thick and fast at us now. It's going to be our 3rd home game in a row. We're welcoming Fulham to town on Tuesday night, Kai. Are you looking forward to that one?
Can't wait. Really excited. Always good to play a London derby, isn't it? But it's a really tough game. We'll give a different dimension. They'll keep the ball probably really, really well. I've got some good players. Harry Wilson. I mean, they spent 12 million on him, didn't they?
Harry Wilson got sent off yesterday.
Oh, so he won't be playing even better. So what did he get sent?
Overturned. I've not seen the exact. It's a straight red card though. I'm looking at the flash score here from the game. So they obviously won 5-1 against Huddersfield yesterday, but he got sent off in the 71st minute, whilst it was 3-1. So they still managed to score 2 goals after that. So
well, it's good news they haven't got him, but his replacement is probably going to be someone like Ivan Cavallero, isn't it? So
he's the guy that scored 2 goals afterwards. So yeah,
there we go. So it just shows that when they get one player sent off, they've got another one ready and waiting. And they've got a couple of youngsters, Fabio Carvalho, I think one of them is called, and the other one, Tyrese Francois.
Yeah.
But they're both very, very good players. We've got some really good up and coming youngsters. So it'll be a really tough game on Tuesday night.
And also Alexander Mitrovic up front as well, who's a dirty dog, ain't he? I mean, God, he's the worst.
They've done well though, which just shows really with the parachute payments how they come into effect. That pretty much to make a challenge to get straight back up, you pretty much have got enough money to keep the players you've got and pay the wages for one more season. Hopefully they might go back up, but keep them in there. It's just a downside really because the old Bill. And yes, it is the old Bill. Hate us so much that they put the game on a Tuesday so that we can't get boats there because they hate the fact that we take loads of boats to Fulham on a weekday, on a weekend day, on a Saturday. So they put it on a Tuesday just to fuck us and the boat companies up, which is a pain in the arse, really. But do you remember when we went to Fulham, first game back at Fulham when they first come out of the Prem? And
6,000 Millwall fans. Martin Wolf scored 1-0.
Yeah, and that Korean wedding. Because it was the first time AMS done a boat.
Yes.
And that Korean wedding, they must have thought, we're going, it's lovely. There's London views, all that. We'll take pictures. And all of a sudden, about 6,000 Millwall fans come steaming through the park.
I don't know if it's Putney Park. I don't know what the park's called. But I think I photobombed them and all. But I'm not going to lie to you. I think there
was loads. We were all jumping in it. and so many people were nicked for were nicked for drugs and that thing. The old Bill just stuck on the boat and just fucking had a dog there, same as when we went to Brentford. They just literally, everybody coming off the boats was all going. But yeah, I think the other story I think it was Fulham, there was a wedding boat and they were giving it when they realised that the boat coming in was Millwall. They were fucking, oh, you wankers, you fucking cunts, all that. What they didn't realise was that the old Bill were going to, couldn't bring them into the dock because there was too many boats there. So this boat had to moor against the other boat where all the wedding guests were giving it, or the best man was giving it, and then all the Millwall fans had to come off their boat, through their boat, onto the jetty. And as far as I'm led to believe, the best man suddenly fucking shit a brick and went and hid in the toilet.
A lot of I was not surprised by the old Bill tactics there, the sniffer dogs and stuff like that. So now I'm just picturing loads of lottery tickets in the Thames at the minute. So that's the kind of thought in my head.
I remember there was one guy who got. I mean, he weren't on the boat that we did with AMS, but he come on and he went to make a run for it. Thought, oh shit! So he went to make a run, and they got him, pinned him down, and they're going through him, and he must have had all his mates gear on him or whatever, he must have had all his mates' packets or something because they were just pulling all these packets out of him. He must have had about 8, 9, 10 packets, and you could just see the colours slowly draining from his face, where it was like when they were finding more and more, and he's just going, oh, realisation, but, it is what it is.
Exactly.
But look, if we
back to the football, yeah.
If we can do, if we can stop Fulham scoring 3 goals on Tuesday, I think we would have done a good game because they are looking, they've got they've just come out of the Prem. They've got the fitness levels. They've got everything up there ready to sit there and penalise us. You know, if we give them those chances, what we've given the last 2 games, they will finish us and they will move on from that. If we can get a victory over them, fucking hell, do you know what I mean? That's absolutely fucking superb. If we can get a victory, and I'm not scared of playing Fulham. I think we could do them, but I think we've got to go out there with the right mentality, the right attitude, and the right setup. If we're going in fucking 3 at the back or 5 at the back at home, I think it could cause us problems.
Definitely. I mean, I think it might actually work against a team like Fulham, funny enough. That's why maybe we might see the best of us. I mean, Kai, you saw us in action, obviously behind closed doors, so to speak, peeking through at Calvin Road against Fulham, didn't you, a few weeks ago? I know, obviously, pre-season, but what did you take from that game, as in like standout players and stuff like that, kind of watch out for from Fulham's point of view?
Well, funny enough, just before I say that, I thought we were brilliant against them. They really had one chance. They took it. Other than that, they didn't really have anything. Their key players are, they didn't have their goalkeeper. Obviously, Gazanigas was only just signed, so he wasn't there. But players like Knockout were playing. I thought Knockout looked dangerous. I don't know whether Knockout's been playing for them actually.
I don't know if he's still there because he's not been involved the last couple of games. I don't know if he's,
he was there. In that he was there. He was there in pre-season, but maybe they're looking to. Well, we could always do a swap deal, him for Bod. That might work.
Where is Bod?
That's a good point.
He's being alienated in this, and I don't care with him being alienated.
Yeah.
As long as he's still here by the 22nd of fucking January and he hasn't been sold, then Omer is going swimming.
He'll get paid up by then if he's still around, to be honest with you. I think that's the only way it's going to go, I think
I'll be texting JB in a minute saying, can you do me a favour? Can you just pay him up on the 23rd of January? That would be great for me.
Oh, texting JB, yeah? Your name dropping, are you?
My
how have you got Bielsa's number? Is it because what did you used to do at the club before? Was it? Or
I just used to find myself around.
Oh, was it that you used to sit on the board or something? Because a fan, right, or something?
It wasn't on the board. It wasn't technically on the board, but yeah, it was on the board and it wasn't on the board. It was fan on the board. I used to represent people and help people get off bands and just basically give them a voice. So yeah, look. It was a
good job at it at all, mate.
It was a position called, what was it? Fan on the board, I think it was called. That was it. And I think I was only the second one in history as well. Yeah. Second and last.
Only lasted a couple of years compared to the old fan on the board though, Pete Garston, mate. So I mean, obviously you might have done something either good or bad there. Who knows? Time will tell.
Destroyed it. They didn't like me not fucking saying yes all the time. So yeah, but no, look, it was good while it lasted. But yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Would I ever do it again? Probably not. It was a lot of hard work for zero pay. You got a few perks and all that. I don't get any perks now, so yeah, fucking got to buy my tickets as much as most, like the rest of you. It would be good if I'd have got a fucking golden season ticket, a bit like what Pete gets, or a couple of places what Pete gets in the director's box every week. But hey ho, I'm not bitter. I don't care. It's what it is.
Exactly. I think, I wanted to talk a bit more about Fulham, but, Fulham not been unbeaten. They drew 1-1 first game of the season. They won 5-1 on Saturday against Huddersfield. It's going to be a tough game, and I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good game, lads. And fingers crossed we come out on top, or we have something positive to talk about on Thursday when we come around to record our next show, right?
Absolutely.
Two things, a couple of things, really. One, a massive shout out to the Millwall fans who got involved yesterday. With the steward what collapsed. There was a steward what collapsed yesterday in I think it was in Kitchener Stand. I think it was Kitchener Stand, and there was a Millwall fan what jumped in and pulled his tongue out by the sounds of it, which obviously is going to have helped him out a bit. We have messaged the club, someone at the club to try and see if there's any news on him. Hopefully he's okay, and it wasn't anything too serious. But hats off to the Millwall fan who did that. That fast acting and your actions and everything else is good. I've seen your dad on Twitter, who's proud of you, and we say that as well. Absolutely proud of you. got a new thing that will come out around the weekends, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday going forward, which will give you a weekly update of what we've done. Videos we posted, blog pieces, match reports, etc., etc. That will be coming out going forward every week. So if you see it on Twitter, Facebook, social media, make sure you subscribe to it, and then that way you won't just get it on Twitter as such. You'll get it straight to your inbox, and then you'll be able to see. So if you miss any videos from us, exclusive content stuff that just gets put on YouTube, that will all be in there. So you won't miss anything. Make sure you subscribe to all our channels. Massive thank you to everyone over the last week or two. The loads of you who are subscribing to our YouTube channel, you are helping massively. And those what have been giving us 5-star ratings, again, you have been absolutely helping massively. Making the algorithms and everything else work in our favour. And because of you lot, and I'm going to say it, I don't care. Because of you lot, this weekend in the charts, we are the highest ranking Millwall podcast by quite a distance. So we are the number one Millwall podcast out there this weekend. Is it the same every weekend? Don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. The charts for podcasts are a very strange thing, but we were all above the official club one. So again, we can only get into those positions by each one of you listening to this. So give yourself a pat on the back and thank you very, very much. And remember, if you want to get in touch, you've got something to plug or something, you want us to give you a shout out or anything else, get in touch, go to our website. Everything's on there. There are going to be some more things coming this week on the website to keep you looking at, so you can find stuff on there. But you've got a voice message on there, or you've got an email, contact us, which was some to us. So yeah, anything you want to mention, then yeah, let us know. Come forward. And if you go to a match with your kids and it's a first game, make sure you tag us in on Twitter, and then we'll give you a retweet and whatnot, because I think memories like that are great and need to get in front of people. So yeah, look, all in all, thank you very much. We are very, very humble. So yeah, I'm all good.
Micky and his stats. He loves them. He loves the stats. And to be fair, yeah, he's right in what he said there. So
we're fucking number one. Number one. Little old Millwall podcast. Little one of us. We've only been going a year, mate. We run out 2 podcasts a week, right? We're not running out loads of shows. We run out 2 podcasts a week. And for us to be beating, other Millwall podcasts out there, what release quite a few shows and everything else, to be number one is an absolute, thank you to everyone who listens to us and leaving us 5 stars, getting our reviews, getting our ratings up, everything else across all channels. You are superb, and we appreciate everything you've done. We're doing this as a hobby, but we do 2 shows a week. So, to get us in the top 40 out of all the podcasts, football podcasts on Apple, is a massive achievement, and that can only be done by you. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, completely. Thank you.
Nicely said, mate. Kai, thanks for coming on today, mate, as always, and hopefully see you in the midweek show. You're on mute. Oh my God, are you Micky in disguise?
Oh no!
Oh, you're Micky in disguise.
I've had a mare there. Yeah, looking forward to coming again, and hopefully we can dissect a really good win. Hopefully.
Definitely. If you're listening on audio book here, or on audio or podcast, obviously be sure to leave us a review, like Micky said. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video, subscribe. We appreciate it. Any interactions, we reply to anyone in the comment section on there. So even if you're listening on audio, go over to YouTube and you'll probably get a reply from us better on there. So if you're passionate about anything, let us know. Obviously, follow us on Twitter. We read out a lot of tweets after games, and obviously look for opinions from everyone. And yeah, that's our lot. We'll be back on Thursday. Come on to Millwall.
See you on Thursday. I will be here, I promise.